Hello, my sweet summer children. I'm back with some juice to get you through the long night. So today we're going to be talking about Baby Stark. Baby Stark. Sag, just kidding. So I get DMs, emails, tweets, messages, tags, all of the time about this one theory. And it's mind-boggling, but the theory is that Littlefinger is still alive. There's a lot of theories out there, actually, that people that are dead are actually still alive. Rhaegar, Ned, Robb, Ashara Dayne, Catelyn Stark. That's because she is alive. She is still alive. So the originator of this theory is a channel called Neo, and I'll link his original theory video below. Now, this video is no shade at all towards the creator of this theory. I love a crazy theory. I mean, I have some crazy theories myself, like the one about Tyrion, Chimeria, superfungation, baby absorption. Let me say absorption because when I say things like Tyrion ate his twin, some people lose it and think that I believe that babies are really out here eating babies in the womb. But anyway, so I love a good conspiracy theory. Shane Dawson has me out here counting mattress firms on every corner. But today, I will be making an attempt to prove to you guys that Littlefinger is dead. Like never coming back, dead. Like Robb Stark dead. No, Ned Stark dead. Joffrey dead. How come there isn't one theory that Joffrey's still alive? Like no one wants Joffrey to come back. So anyway, the theory starts off with clips and interviews of George R.R. Martin and how George likes to surprise us and how the ending of Game of Thrones is going to be bittersweet. Okay, fair enough. But what is bittersweet about Littlefinger not being dead? Not much. It would be surprising. I will give you that. It would be surprising that he didn't die, but it would kind of like cheapen his story, and I'll get into that in a minute. So Littlefinger says that he plays games to understand a person's motives, assuming the worst and trying to find the worst reason as to why people do things they do. And allegedly, he played this game with Sansa, and Littlefinger is knowing that he might be in danger. And then when Bran hits him with that chaos is a ladder line, he knows he has stepped into a serious pile of shit this time. So in season 7, episode 5, Littlefinger is talking to a lady that allegedly says, "Your time is up." And then Littlefinger allegedly gives her a coin that is not gold, it's iron, it's the coin of the faceless men. So the theory says that the blonde woman is a faceless man. She plays the role of a maiden, and now she's going to play the role of Littlefinger and die in his place because he gave her the Bravosi coin, and only death can pay for life, and she can wear Littlefinger's face because allegedly you can wear a face of the people that aren't dead on the show. So the lady wore Littlefinger's face and died in his place, and Littlefinger is somewhere hiding in Winterfell. The Faceless Men, the Order of the Faceless Men doesn't really work like that. Like, they don't die for you, they kill people for you. Like, they don't die for you. But let's break it all the way down. First, let's go back to the blonde in Winterfell that allegedly tells Littlefinger his time is up. So in the original theory, it says to listen close and turn up your volume. So let's listen. Maybe I need it louder. I don't really hear. Maybe, but it also sounds like she could be saying Sansa. Like, actually looking at it, it looks like she says more than 3 words. Now, about this girl, she's someone that Littlefinger has employed. We know that that's what Littlefinger does. He employs spies. We were shown this in season 1, episode 4.
See that boy there? One of Varys's little birds. Now look, there. That one belongs to the queen. And do you see that scepter pretending to read her book?
Varys or the queen?
No. She's one of mine.
We also know that spies can be found in Winterfell. Varys has little birds in Winterfell. Spies everywhere, all the time. Now let's examine the coin. We can't really examine the coin because the camera is focusing on Arya spying on them. So it has always been foreshadowed that Sansa would kill Littlefinger. So in the books, the Ghost of Highheart has a prophetic dream. She's a prophetic dreamer. I have a video on all of the dreams and what they mean, but anyway, she dreamt up the Red Wedding, the Lady Stoneheart, Renly being killed by a shadow, Balon Greyjoy being killed by a faceless man. I mean, she's like batting 1,000 right now. And the Ghost of Highheart dreamt this about Sansa. I dreamt of a maid at a feast with purple serpents in her hair, venom dripping from their fangs. And later I dreamt that maid again, slaying a savage giant in a castle built of snow. This is Sansa. Sansa is the maid, and it's Joffrey's wedding feast that she first sees. So in the show, the poison was in Sansa's necklace that she wore to the wedding, but in the books, the poison was actually in the gems of her hairnet. And the strangler poison is purple, and it suffocates you like a snake would. That's why the Ghost of High Heart calls the strangler purple serpents. She says that that maid later slays a savage giant in a castle made of snow. This castle is Winterfell, or in the books, I believe it's going to be the Vale. So the savage giant is Littlefinger. Littlefinger takes the Mockingbird as his own personal sigil, but his true family sigil, the sigil of House Baelish, is a giant's head. Not really a giant, but I mean, it's like the head of the Titan of Braavos. The Titan looks like a giant to me. But anyway, with all that said, I can still see why this theory exists. And it's because the writing for Winterfell is partly to blame. The worst part of Game of Thrones season 7 was the shit that was going on in Winterfell between Arya, Sansa, and Littlefinger. Like, it just didn't make sense. It just didn't. It made Arya seem like a psycho, which, I mean, the jury is kind of still out on that. And it made Sansa seem power hungry and shady, and the jury's still out on that too. But one of the issues I had with this entire thing is that Arya is supposed to be this super stealthy, faceless man, but Littlefinger knows that she's following him. Like, she's not even careful enough to fool Littlefinger. And he plants that raven that Sansa wrote and knows that Arya will find it. They literally had Littlefinger outmaneuvering a faceless man, Arya. So Arya was being super sloppy and weird and menacing to her sister that she loves. Yes, they fought a lot as children, but when Arya was in Braavos, she thought about Sansa and her lemon cakes and stuff. But anyway, so Littlefinger knows he's in trouble, but he doesn't leave. He switches bodies instead. And why does he do that? I don't know. Why would he do that? Why wouldn't he just leave? But the actor that plays Littlefinger did an interview with the Los Angeles Times about the way that he died. And this is what he said. The showrunner said they were excited to see what you would do with the scenario because this character has imagined every single eventuality except this one. How did you find Littlefinger's surprise? That was interesting because this guy is confident enough to never see that happening. Confident enough that his plans couldn't go that wrong. But also smart enough to realize immediately that the game was up, which led to the instant, massive humiliation in front of a crowd. That whole thing that he'd been trying to get away from his whole journey through this. Not just in this season that we saw, but as a young man. That really was an appropriate and fitting ending, and for the death to be ordered by someone that he'd become so close to. So basically, no, he did not realize he was in trouble. He didn't see it coming, and history repeated. Littlefinger had lived his entire life running from one moment, the duel between him and Brandon Stark at River Run. His motivation for everything and the thing that drove him to dislike Ned Stark was his love or obsession with Catelyn Tully and the scar that Brandon left him as a reminder that she could never be his. Not only was his execution kind of what he did to Ned back in his face, like full circle, which was like kind of like poetic justice in itself. If you actually sit back and think about it, he made the same mistake twice. Littlefinger was in love with Catelyn. He even believes that he banged her, even though it was actually Lysa that he banged. I mean, I don't have time to explain that right now. But anyway, he was a fool for her. He was a fool for Catelyn. And that led him to challenge Brandon to a duel at River Run. And when he challenged Brandon Stark to a duel, he was nearly killed. But Catelyn interceded and begged Brandon not to kill him.
In the end, she wouldn't even let him kill me. He's just a boy, she said. Please don't hurt him. So he gave me a nice little scar to remember him by, and off they went.
Littlefinger was humiliated, and the same thing kind of happened again. He's in love with Sansa. He's a fool for her, just like he was with Catelyn. And just like with Catelyn, he did not see that she was playing him for the fool that he was. So this time, he doesn't see it coming. He thinks he has Sansa in his pocket, and she puts him on trial, and he's made a fool of in front of a room full of people. Not only by Sansa, but by another Brandon Stark. The difference this time is he has no Catelyn there to save him. So in that sense, plus the entire Ghost of High Heart dream and everything, it kind of makes sense, but it also didn't make sense in my opinion. It was like a violation of guess right, and it was kind of driven by unnecessary turmoil that really didn't make any sense. But anyway, we know for a fact that the actor that plays Littlefinger was finished filming for Game of Thrones after filming for season 7, and he's already been cast in another show, and he wasn't in any of the reports of being present for filming for season 8. So considering everything, I believe Littlefinger is dead, and it was always foreshadowed that Sansa would kill him. But what do you think? Is he alive or dead? Have I convinced you? As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join the Sweet Summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.